In the deepest forests, where silence speaks louder than sound, lives a creature both feared and admired, a creature of immense strength, quiet intelligence, and ancient wisdom. These are the bears, the silent guardians of the wild. From snow-covered mountains to dense evergreen forests, bears rule their territories with unmatched power and surprising tenderness. Behind their massive bodies and thunderous roars lies a story very few humans truly understand of survival, instinct, family, discipline, and balance. Bears are not just predators. They are caretakers of forests, protectors of rivers, and indicators of a healthy ecosystem. Every paw print they leave carries the memory of thousands of years of evolution. Their lives unfold in cycles: feasting, hibernation, parenting, migration, and constant adaptation. And in these cycles, they reveal lessons that reflect the nature of life itself: patience, endurance, struggle, and renewal. But what do bears truly do in their daily lives? How do they raise their cubs? How long do they live? How do they survive harsh winters? How do they help humans, and how can they harm us if we disrespect the balance of nature? And most importantly, what can humans learn from them? This documentary takes you deep into the world of bears, a journey of awe, danger, intelligence, and profound natural wisdom. Stay with us, because once you understand the life of a bear, you will never see nature or your own life the same way again. In the vast wilderness of our planet, where towering mountains meet ancient forests, where icy rivers carve through silent valleys, and where the balance of life is shaped by instinct and survival, there lives one of nature's most powerful and intelligent creatures, the bear. This chapter opens the doors to the secret life of these remarkable animals, revealing how they live, survive, and shape the ecosystems around them. Bears belong to a family known as Ursidae. Though they vary in size, color, and habitat, each species possesses a unique identity shaped by thousands of years of evolution. Whether it is the massive grizzly bear of North America, the peaceful panda bear of China, the agile black bear, the Arctic's icy monarch, the polar bear, or the honey-loving sleuth bear of Asia, they all share a blend of strength, intelligence, and adaptability unmatched in the wild. These magnificent animals are born into a world of challenges. A mother bear, often alone, raises her cubs with exceptional devotion. She teaches them how to find food, where to hide, and how to read the language of the forest sounds, scents, and shadows. A bear cub's early life is filled with learning, exploring, and slowly discovering what it means to survive in nature's unpredictable rhythm. Bears are omnivores, creatures that eat both plants and meat, giving them a tremendous advantage in diverse climates. From berries, roots, and honey to fish, insects, and small mammals, their diet shifts with the seasons. In summer, a bear feeds constantly, preparing for winter. Its entire life depends on building enough fat to survive the long months of hibernation. Hibernation is one of the most extraordinary features of a bear's existence. As winter approaches and food becomes scarce, bears retreat into dense caves, hollow logs, or dugout pits. In this deep sleep, their heartbeat slows, their body temperature drops, and their energy use becomes minimal. They may remain in this state for months without eating, drinking, or even waking. Yet when spring arrives, they emerge alive, hungry, and ready to start the cycle anew. Bears mark their territories using scent and scratches on trees. Each mark tells a story: who passed by, whether they were healthy, strong, or ready to mate. Despite their calm appearance, bears are extremely intelligent and aware of their surroundings. They recognize danger, remember locations, and even use problem solving to access food or escape threats. Their intelligence often surprises scientists, who continue to discover new things about bear behavior. Family plays an important role in bear society, especially for mothers. A mother bear fiercely protects her cubs and teaches them every essential skill: how to climb trees, catch fish, dig for roots, and avoid predators like wolves or adult male bears. Cubs stay with their mother for up to 3 years before venturing out on their own. Once independent, life changes dramatically. The forest becomes a teacher, the seasons become tests, and every day becomes a lesson in survival. The lifespan of a bear varies by species, Black bears may live 20 to 25 years in the wild, grizzlies around 25 to 30 years, and polar bears up to 30 to 35 years. In captivity, they can live longer due to consistent food and medical care, but nothing compares to the freedom of the wild where every year lived is a triumph. To the environment, bears are incredibly valuable. They spread seeds through their diet, control animal populations, and even help forests grow by shaping plant cycles. In areas where bears are removed, ecosystems become unbalanced, proving their importance in maintaining nature's health. But the life of a bear is not without danger. Human expansion has destroyed forests, polluted rivers, and warmed the Arctic, endangering polar bears especially. Many bears lose their natural homes and come into conflict with humans while searching for food. Some are hunted, trapped, or used illegally for entertainment. These challenges threaten their survival, making conservation efforts vital for their future. The presence of bears reminds humans of nature's beauty, but also its limits. They warn us that the earth belongs to every creature, and when we disturb its balance, the consequences echo through every species, including our own. Observing a bear inspires awe. It is a creature of strength, yet tenderness, power, yet caution, solitude, yet connection to the land. Through its life, it teaches us the importance of resilience, adaptability, and respect for our environment. In many cultures, bears symbolize courage, leadership, and wisdom, traits earned through a lifetime of surviving harsh realities while maintaining harmony with nature. As this chapter concludes, we begin to understand the bear not as a beast, but as a guardian of the forest, a reminder that every creature has a role, every species has a purpose, and every life on Earth is connected by a delicate thread. The world of bears is a world of beauty, mystery, and profound lessons, waiting to be explored deeper in the chapters ahead. The young bear, now a few months old, begins stepping out of the den and into the wider world, a world filled with both opportunity and danger. Every new sunrise brings lessons carved by the harsh hands of nature. The cub learns that survival is not a gift, it's a skill, a discipline that must be earned day by day. At first, the outside world feels overwhelmingly large. The ground is uneven, the scents are unfamiliar, and the sounds echo from every direction. The mother bear walks slowly, pausing often, allowing her cubs to adjust to the new sensations. She grunts softly, guiding them with sound, teaching them a simple truth: follow me, stay close, and trust what I teach you. This early phase becomes a crucial training period where the foundation of their survival is built. One of the first skills she teaches is the art of foraging. Bears are omnivores, and their menu is surprisingly vast. The cubs learn to dig for roots, sniff out berries, overturn logs for insects, and search riverbanks for fish. The mother demonstrates each technique patiently, using her strength not only to feed herself, but to show her cubs how to use their own paws, claws, and sense of smell. Her instructions, though silent, are clear. Nothing in the wild comes easily. You must search, you must work. As months pass, the cubs become more agile. Their legs grow stronger, their balance improves, and their curiosity expands. They begin to climb trees, not gracefully at first, but persistently. Climbing becomes both a survival skill and a playground for developing muscles. Trees offer safety from predators, viewpoints to survey the land, and even food like fruits or honeycombs. Each climb builds confidence, teaching the cubs how to rely on their strength and reflexes. Hunting, though not their primary lifestyle, becomes another lesson in the cubs' survival education. Bears do hunt occasionally, especially species like grizzlies and brown bears. The mother bear shows her cubs how to stalk quietly, how to listen to the rustle of leaves, and how to detect movements of small prey. Even when a hunt fails, it isn't a loss, it's a lesson. The wilderness teaches through repetition, through trial and error, through patience. One of the most iconic lessons arrives during the salmon season. At riverbanks teeming with leaping fish, the mother bear transforms into a master hunter. She stands tall in the rushing current, using her immense strength to balance against the force of the water. The cubs watch closely as she snatches salmon with precision, swinging her clawed paw in a powerful arc. They imitate her clumsy movements, falling, slipping, splashing, but never quitting. With time, they learn the rhythm of the river, the way the fish move, the sound before they leap, and the exact moment to strike. This season becomes a turning point in their physical development and a crucial boost to their diet, building the fat reserves necessary for future hibernation. Communication also begins to develop in these months. Bears are solitary animals, yet their vocal language is rich. Cubs learn the meaning behind their mother's huffs, grunts, and growls. A low rumble signals danger. A soft grunting means reassurance. A sharp snort instructs them to retreat. Cubs respond with squeaks, whines, and playful growls. Through these sounds, they build a silent bond, one that silently reinforces their understanding of both danger and safety. Territory awareness becomes another important part of their education. The mother bear leads them across long distances, sometimes traveling miles in search of food. Along the way, she marks territory through scent claw marks on trees, rubbing against bark, or leaving traces along trails. Cubs learn to identify these signs, recognizing which territories belong to larger, dominant males, which areas are safe, and which are dangerous. The wild has unwritten rules, and learning these rules becomes essential for their survival. As months turn into years, the cubs' bodies grow massively. Their muscles thicken, their claws sharpen, and their teeth become powerful tools. A full-grown bear can weigh anywhere from 150 to over 1,000 pounds depending on the species. Despite their enormous size, bears move with astonishing speed and agility. A young bear learns quickly that its strength must always be respected by others and by itself. In these growing years, bears also develop their remarkable sense of smell, which is often considered one of the most extraordinary in the animal kingdom. A bear can detect scents miles away. Some scientists estimate up to 20 miles under the right conditions. This ability becomes their primary navigation tool. Cubs learn to interpret the world through scent trails, food sources, danger signals, the presence of other animals, and even seasonal changes. Not all lessons, however, are gentle. The wild remains unforgiving. Young bears encounter wolves, larger bears, and other predators. These encounters teach them fear, distance, and the importance of alertness. They learn that even with strength, survival depends on caution. A single wrong step can change their destiny forever. The mother bear often stands between her cubs and danger, modeling bravery and sacrifice. Her protective nature shapes their understanding of loyalty and family bonds. By the time the cubs reach 2 to 3 years of age, they begin to step into independence. Their instincts sharpen, their strength peaks, and their minds now hold the accumulation of every lesson learned, each one essential for a life lived alone in the wilderness. Growth, for a bear, not only physical but deeply behavioral. The wild molds them into resilient, resourceful animals capable of navigating rugged terrains, unpredictable seasons, and constant challenges. Every day in the forest becomes a training ground. Every sound becomes a warning. Every scent becomes a clue. Every movement becomes a decision. Survival is not random, it is earned through discipline, adaptability, and the quiet mastery of instincts placed within them from birth. And in the quiet rhythm of their growing years, one truth becomes undeniable. Nature is not chaotic. It is balanced, organized, purposeful. The growth of a bear is a carefully designed journey, a journey that reveals how every creature is guided by an inherent wisdom crafted by the Creator. In the vast, breathing wilderness, where every creature holds an unspoken duty, the bear stands as one of nature's most influential architects. Though it may wander the forests alone, its presence shapes the land in ways most people never see. This chapter uncovers the hidden responsibilities of bears, their influence on ecosystems, their complicated relationship with humans, and the delicate balance that is threatened when these giants disappear. The story begins with something as simple as a bear's daily search for food. To the untrained eye, this looks like nothing more than a hungry animal roaming the woods. But in truth, every movement of a bear creates a chain reaction across the entire ecosystem. When bears dig for roots, insects, or small mammals, they till the soil, allowing new plants to grow. When they turn over fallen logs to find grubs, They help decompose wood and spread nutrients back into the earth. Even something as ordinary as a bear walking through the forest disperses seeds caught in its fur or dropped from berries it ate miles away. In many forests, bears are also nature's gardeners. By eating berries and fruits in large quantities and then traveling across long distances, they spread seeds far and wide. Some plant species rely almost completely on bears for regeneration. Without bears, those plants would vanish, and with them would disappear countless insects, birds, and small mammals that depend on those plants to survive. One of the most surprising roles bears play is as nutrient carriers. In regions where bears catch salmon like the rivers of Alaska and British Columbia, they drag the fish into the forest to eat. The remains of these salmon nourish the soil with nitrogen and other minerals. Scientists have found that trees grow significantly taller in areas where bears have brought salmon inland. This means forests literally grow stronger because of bears. If the bears disappear, the forests weaken, and the whole ecosystem begins to collapse, piece by piece. But what about the relationship between bears and humans? It is far more complex than many realize. For centuries, indigenous communities viewed bears with deep respect. They saw them not as monsters, but as guardians of the forest, strong, wise, and essential. These communities understood the bear's role long before modern science did. They learned to coexist, giving the bear space and honoring its place in the natural world. Today, however, humans and bears often collide. As forests shrink and food sources become scarce, bears wander into human settlements searching for survival. To people unfamiliar with their behavior, they seem dangerous. And yes, bears can be dangerous if provoked or threatened. But most conflicts arise not because the bear is aggressive, but because its home has been disturbed, its feeding grounds destroyed, and its instinct for survival forced to adapt. Despite these challenges, bears benefit humans in ways many never notice. The forests they help sustain protect water sources, stabilize climates, and support agriculture. Ecotourism centered around bear habitats brings income to local communities. Researchers study bear physiology to develop medical treatments, for example. Studying how bears hibernate has helped scientists understand muscle loss, kidney function, and even potential solutions for diabetes. The more we learn, the more obvious it becomes. The bear is not an enemy. It is a teacher, guardian, and a symbol of balance. Yet the threats bears face today are alarming. Habitat destruction is the greatest danger. As forests are cleared for farmland, roads, and cities, bears lose the spaces they need to feed, mate, and raise their young. Climate change adds another layer of struggle. Warmer temperatures disrupt hibernation cycles. Melting ice forces polar bears to swim farther for food. Changing seasons affect the availability of berries, salmon, and insects. Poaching remains a troubling problem. In some regions, bears are hunted illegally for their fur, claws, or bile, used in traditional medicines. Each bear killed is not just a life lost, it is the disruption of an entire ecological network. Fortunately, people around the world are beginning to recognize the importance of protecting these gentle giants. Conservation organizations work tirelessly to restore forests, create protected bear corridors, and educate communities on peaceful coexistence. Scientists track bear populations using satellite collars, studying their behavior to develop better protection plans. In many countries, stricter laws have reduced hunting and illegal trade. One powerful example comes from the Himalayas. Local communities there learned to safeguard their crops without harming the bears by using solar-powered fences and nighttime lights. This simple solution saved the bears and protected the villagers, proving that harmony is always possible. Another inspiring effort takes place in North America, where wildlife biologists and indigenous groups collaborate to protect grizzly bear ranges. By blending ancient knowledge with modern science, they create a more complete understanding of how to live with these magnificent animals. If bears were to disappear, the consequences would ripple through nature in devastating ways. Forests would weaken, salmon populations would shift, plant diversity would shrink, and the ecosystems that rely on bears would begin to fall apart. And with each collapse, humans would feel the impact, whether through climate instability, loss of natural resources, or economic consequences. The bear reminds us of a simple truth. Every creature has a purpose. Nothing in nature exists without reason. The cycle of life, the balance of ecosystems, the harmony of the wild, all depend on countless small and large roles played by creatures we often overlook. The bear's quiet, powerful presence is one of nature's most essential threads, and yet, despite everything bears offer the world, they ask for almost nothing in return: just space to live, forests to roam, and respect from the species that has taken so much from the earth, us. By observing the bear's role in nature, we learn humility. We see how a single animal, often misunderstood, helps sustain entire worlds. And we realize that if such a creature fulfills its purpose without pride or complaint, then surely we should reflect on our own responsibilities within the creation. As the seasons change in the dense forests and rugged mountains, the life of a bear continues its eternal cycle, guided by nature's rhythm. Reproduction is a time of renewal, and bears follow an instinct that has been perfected over millennia. Mating usually occurs between May and July, when the bear is strongest, ensuring the healthiest possible offspring. Female bears, known as sows, have an extraordinary ability called delayed implantation. Although they may mate in the summer, the fertilized egg does not immediately attach to the womb. Instead, it waits until the bear has gained enough fat and strength to survive the long winter. Pregnancy lasts approximately 6 to 9 months, culminating in the quiet, secluded moment of birth, often during the hibernation period in the winter den. Cubs are tiny, fragile, and blind at birth, weighing less than a kilogram in most species. They rely entirely on their mother's warmth, milk, and protection. For the first few months, the mother rarely leaves the den, ensuring her young are safe from predators and the harshness of winter. As the months pass, the cubs grow rapidly, gaining strength, learning to walk, and eventually emerging from the den to experience the world under their mother's watchful eyes. The mother teaches essential skills: how to forage for berries, catch fish, climb trees, and recognize danger. The cub's early life is a period of intensive learning, with mistakes met by gentle correction rather than harsh punishment. Cubs typically stay with their mother for up to 2 to 3 years, learning survival skills and the unwritten rules of the bear's social world. Old age comes differently for bears than for humans, but it carries its own dignity and challenges. Most wild bears live between 20 and 30 years, although some, under ideal conditions, may reach 40. Their strength diminishes gradually. Teeth wear down from decades of eating tough vegetation and hunting, and movements slow as arthritis and fatigue set in. Older bears often retreat from conflict, allowing younger males to establish territories. Yet even in old age, bears continue to play a role in their ecosystem, mentoring younger generations through example and maintaining balance within their habitats. From the life of bears, humans can draw profound Islamic lessons. The deliberate care a mother bear takes for her cubs mirrors the mercy and compassion Allah has instilled in all living beings. Their patience, resilience, and attention to the needs of others reflect values of responsibility, stewardship, and balance. Allah teaches us in His creation that strength should be coupled with wisdom, and power should be exercised with care, principles visible in every aspect of bear life. We learn the importance of protecting the vulnerable, valuing life, and understanding that every creature has a role in the larger design of the world. Observing bears, we see the cycles of life: birth, growth, reproduction, and eventually death. Each stage is a reminder of Allah's plan and the interconnectedness of all creation. Humans, endowed with intellect and free will, are responsible for safeguarding the natural world. We are urged to reflect on our actions. Deforestation, poaching, and habitat destruction threaten these magnificent creatures. By protecting bears and their ecosystems, we fulfill our role as stewards of the earth and honor the sacred trust Allah has given us. The lessons are clear: show compassion, respect life, and live in harmony with the natural order. Witnessing a mother bear teaching her cubs or an aging male observing from the shadows reminds us that care, patience, and vigilance are timeless virtues. Every choice we make affects not only our lives, but the survival of countless other beings around us. In protecting and learning from these creatures, we cultivate gratitude for Allah's creation, humility in our actions, and awareness of the responsibility we carry. For viewers, the call to action is immediate and personal. Support wildlife conservation efforts, advocate for the protection of habitats, and educate others about the importance of coexistence with nature. Simple actions, such as reducing waste, planting trees, or supporting ethical wildlife tourism, create a ripple effect that benefits bears, other species, and ultimately humanity. Reflecting on the bear's life, we recognize our privilege and responsibility to preserve, protect, and honor Allah's creation in every possible way. Bears are more than just wild animals. They are teachers of patience, strength, and balance. They remind us of the fleeting nature of life, the sacred duty of care, and the beauty of living in harmony with all creatures. Let us take their lessons to heart, strive for compassion in our daily lives, and turn our attention toward the Creator who designed this intricate, magnificent world.